Returning to the world of Marvel's Spider-Man is always an exciting adventure to endure, and with more content and more time to develop this brand new world, we have ourselves a 3-story expansion pack called The City That Never Sleeps, a unique storyline that starts with the heist. The Magia gang, who are associated with Hammerhead, are making their name known around the city. With the potential for an invasion at the Museum of Contemporary Art, a painting known as the Maria is up for grabs. With the Magia tripping the alarms and Spider-Man doing business as usual, a sneakishly no-good thief makes their way into the art gallery to capture the big prize, Black Cat. Black Cat is back, and yeah, her claws are finally ready to strike. The priceless Maria painting is snapped in two, revealing a hidden data drive. We now have Black Cat participating in questionable behavior. With the cat back in the game and showing major interest in Spider-Man, surely proves that MJ can get very jealous, making comments periodically throughout the heist in reference to Spidey and Cat's relationship with snappy and very quick to judge comments. Miles is also itching for Peter to train him, now that there's potential to get a whole jump on becoming a superhero. With the cat uncovering data drives and tricking the Magia gang, she informs Spider-Man that there's a good chance that her son could very well be in danger, and that Hammerhead has them locked away in a vault. She needs Spider-Man to work with her in hopes to find her son, and to take out the Magia if it means finding them. Periodically throughout the story, it's questioned heavily whether or not Peter is actually the so-called father to Felicia's son. While being majorly concerned and in hopes to protect the cat, while infiltrating multiple Magia hangouts and spots, we learn quickly that our help with Black Cat was nothing more than a massive setup. There is no son. There is no vault of any kind. Just a lying, conniving, sly-like thief who has an agenda to require nothing but self-gain and prominence for herself. Duping Spider-Man and leaving him hanging, the Magia realize that Black Cat made away with all of the data drives. But Hammerhead's plan B is to rig Cat's penthouse to blow. In a desperate attempt to save Felicia from danger, Spider-Man is far too late, with Felicia now being assumed dead. Moving along with Turf Wars, Yuri Watanabe, Spider-Man, and her police force work to infiltrate and seize Hammerhead and put a stop to the Magia gang's Raz intentions. With a passionate team who's ready to stop this once and for all, Yuri and several of her policemen are outnumbered, leaving the operation at a standstill and putting many of the policemen's lives in such a vulnerable state. But just when the situation couldn't have gotten worse, Hammerhead laid waste to nearly everyone in the room, with no hesitation, leaving nothing but bloodstains and massive losses. But more importantly, Yuri begins slowly losing herself. Spider-Man works hard to gather info on the Magia whereabouts, uncovering that they are using a lot of Sable technology to make their way through the city. With Spider-Man failing to take action accordingly and Hammerhead getting away, Yuri refuses to stand idly by, expressing a seriously concerning and volatile side to herself. With Magia carrying deadly weapons and Spider-Man rushing to the scene to stop them, it was a distraction to blow up a precinct and steal equipment titled Project Olympus. Yuri is fired up. Her agenda becomes clear, and she wants to put Hammerhead down for good. Showing hostility towards even Spider-Man, Yuri attacks a big Magia crime hideout known as the Bar with No Name for payback, and Spider-Man finds a lead on Hammerhead related to a big show at Hudson Yard. Miles makes it aware that he wants to put more time into testing out his spider powers, and informs Peter that he jumped off of a bridge and broke a toe. The kid's got heart, but in classic manner, Peter tells Miles that he needs to be more responsible with his actions, and there will be more training sometime soon. Making his way to Hammerhead, the game plan is for the crime boss to broadcast live footage of former Magia members suffering inside of cement mix to die over time. With saving these few from sudden death and confronting Hammerhead, Project Olympus is finally underway, and he's all suited up. Hammerhead is under the belief that the Magia isn't taken seriously, so it's time to show the world what he's made of by taking out Spider-Man. Afterwards, Yuri gets a hold of Hammerhead, showing him absolutely no mercy, and detaining Spider-Man so he doesn't interfere. But Yuri takes it upon her own liberty to put Hammerhead out for good, showing a new side of her that we've never seen before, almost a killer at best. As Hammerhead's body is being escorted in an ambulance, just when we thought this was the end, a Magia thug brings him back to life. The story is on the brink of finish, as we move into Silver Lining, the finale chapter. Yuri has gone rogue, and the Magia gang is growing stronger and stronger while using Sable technology to fully embrace a modern alternative to claim that city dominance. We see the return of Silver Sable, who left Symkaria after learning that most of her equipment was stolen and distributed to the Magia gang. angrier than she's ever been before. This now means that Spider-Man and Silver Sable are teaming up to put a stop to Hammerhead before him and his men become unstoppable. With MJ periodically gathering info to help Spider-Man throughout the last chapter, she makes it aware that the war going on in Symkaria is a challenge that she wishes to take up on if it means covering news that the rest of the world isn't paying attention to, hoping that if she takes up on the opportunity, it can make a massive difference. And with the two lovers saying goodbye to each other for potentially quite a while, we now know we won't be hearing from MJ for the time being. Gathering intel on the Magia, Sable and Spidey run into a trap that lures Hammerhead to their location. Hammerhead is alive and he's embraced a more cybernetic technology inspired look since his last bout. Nearly putting Spider-Man and Silver Sable out, Black Cat saves Spider-Man, but Silver Sable is kidnapped by Hammerhead for interrogation. Felicia apologizes to Spider-Man for lying to him, and in return for his help, she hands him one of the data drives she's uncovered. The information on the drive is the key to learning Hammerhead's major weakness. With Silver Sable held captive and Spider-Man coming to the rescue, the two battled the Magia's Sable Tech goons. While the two go over the data drive details, his weak point is the literal metal within inside of his head, and prep work begins to finally take him down once and for all. Hammerhead battles Spider-Man and Silver Sable, with them two utilizing specific Sable technology and equipment to shave down his weak points to a T, and with a major and desperate attempt, Sable launches an entire gunship at Hammerhead's body. With enough speed and precision, we finally see an end to the crazy madman once and for all. With Silver Sable making her way back to Symkaria to return to war, recovering her lost assets, and a majority of the Magia gang and now Hammerhead finished, this leaves us with a newfound discovery that Yuri intentionally killed a Magia member in cold blood, and Spider-Man is now an enemy to Yuri and is no longer an ally. Near the very end of our story, it is shown that Miles is now ready to officially participate in superhero training, so now Miles is officially taking his first flight as Spider-Man.